The iPhone Air delivers remarkable performance in a super thin and light design that's very durable. I especially like getting A19 Pro power in something this compact, but you have to make some trade-offs for the steep $1,000 price. You get only a single rear camera, which means no telephoto zoom, ultra-wide or macro shots. And while the Air's battery life is solid, it's a few hours behind the iPhone 17 Pro Max. The iPhone Air represents the first major shakeup to the iPhone family in years. The Air replaces the iPhone 16 Plus in Apple's lineup, but it really stands on its own as a completely new device. In fact, the iPhone Air really feels like a blueprint for the future as Apple nears the 20th anniversary of the original iPhone. Measuring 5.6mm, the iPhone Air is the thinnest phone in the world that's not a foldable, and yet it feels very sturdy thanks to its titanium frame. I have literally tried to bend and break this handset and it stayed intact. The Air doesn't skimp on performance either, packing an A19 Pro chip for playing demanding games and taking advantage of Apple intelligence. So what's the catch with this super slim Air? There's only a single camera, and while the battery life is pretty solid for something this size, you get less endurance versus the iPhone 17 Pro models. But it might still be the best phone for you, depending on what you are looking for. Here is the pros and cons in my full iPhone Air review. The iPhone Air starts at $1,000 for 256GB of storage. That's $100 more than the iPhone 16 Plus, but Apple is betting that you will be willing to pay a premium for a phone that's this slim and portable. There is just one problem. The iPhone 17 Pro starts at $1,099, which is just $100 more for a phone with triple cameras, a bigger battery, and an A19 Pro chip with an extra GPU core and vapor chamber cooling for better sustained performance. So you should really think about whether this stunning design is worth it. The iPhone Air has a release date of September 19. The iPhone Air is so thin and light that you are worried for its safety when you see it from across the room, but you will feel reassured when you put it in your hands. Measuring just 5.64mm thin, the iPhone Air edges out the Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge for the thinnest phone we have tested. The Air is so thin, in fact, that you might forget it's in your front pocket. Well, the whole device isn't this thin. The plateau or camera bump runs across the top of the device and jutes out. At least it doesn't wobble on a table when you press down. Apple purposely crammed all the major components into this area to make room for a larger battery down below. The iPhone Air comes in sky blue, cloud white, light gold, and black. Frankly, the black color makes the design look cheap and not as thin. I preferred the sky blue model I tested, which does a better job of showing off the Air's thin profile. Some have complained that the titanium frame is too shiny, but I don't agree. If you are worried about the durability for a phone this thin, I think you can rest easy. I saw a demo that simulated a band with 130 pounds of force, and the iPhone Air shrugged it off. To further fortify the iPhone Air, Apple equipped the phone with a Ceramic Shield 2 display with 3x the scratch resistance of the previous technology and the Ceramic Shield back that's 4x more crack resistant than glass. It is worth noting that the iPhone Air has a single speaker integrated into the earpieces compared to dual speakers for the iPhone 17 and 17 Pro series. During my testing, the Air's speakers got plenty loud when listening to Apple Music, but it did sound tiny at max volume. The iPhone Air features a single 48MP fusion camera with 2x optical quality zoom. No telephoto, no ultra-wide, but it is a pretty strong performer based on my testing. Just don't expect much more from the 10x digital zoom. The iPhone Air does bring some cool new camera features to the table that are also available on the iPhone 17, 17 Pro and 17 Pro Max. This includes an 18MP center stage front camera that leverages a square sensor to let you shoot landscape selfies without having to flip the phone in your hand. Here are some camera samples of the new iPhone Air. I am torn about the iPhone Air as its remarkable piece of engineering. This design is amazingly thin and light, and Apple deserves serious credit for making it so durable. It feels so strong, I don't think I would bother with a case. I also like how well the iPhone Air performs. No, it doesn't have the graphics might or sustained performance of the iPhone 17 Pro or Pro Max, but it's faster than the Galaxy S25 Edge and remains fairly cool under pressure, and it offers better sustained performance than Samsung's slim phone. However, I don't like the shoppers have to give up both an ultra-wide lens and telephoto zoom with the iPhone Air. At least Samsung gives you an ultra-wide camera that enables macro photography, but the iPhone Air's main 48 megapixel camera is very good overall. Apple left some other features on the cutting room floor as well, as such as fast charging and cinematic mode for video, so in sometimes the Air feels more like an iPhone Lite. Overall, I think the iPhone Air is worth buying for those who want a super slim phone that's very easy to carry, that doesn't sacrifice too much on performance, but you will have to live with some trade-offs if you want something this compact.